So grounding and balancing, we need more of the earth quality. And if you think of the earth as being, well, as solid as anything can be. And when the body feels solid and secure, and how it can do that is one is have a really nice foundation. Where when we do Shavasana, it's one of the most grounding of the poses because we're lying on there. But there's other ways to encourage a feeling of grounding, and balancing poses are another way of doing that. When we have our forehead on the ground, such as in extended child's pose, this is another really grounding pose that can really help us or help the body feel stable and secure. So, and then when we're doing balancing, of course, it's not so stable, but in the practice of working, finding that stability, it brings that energy back in, and we're able to ground more. So that'll be part of what we play with today is those elements. When the body feels stable, so this animal body feels grounded and stable and secure, then the mind has less to bitch about, to worry about. So, and it can quiet more easily then. And then it's easier to drop into the heart, which is really where our ultimate stability is remembering that we're fully supported by the divine, that we are spirit having this experience, but that we have that support as we go through this crazy dream of life. So that's the ultimate place of stability. But to get the mind quiet, we've got to drop into the body, be in the present moment, allow this animal body to feel stable on this earth planet, and then we can. That's kind of the basis of. Then it's easy to come back in and quiet and find that inner stability. So. If you're sitting cross-legged, go ahead and switch the cross so that we are balanced in our hips. So there's a lot of different kinds of ways of looking at balance. And here, the balance of right and left. Also, when both sides are strong, we can be more stable. And so we'll be working a little with that also. So as you want the hips and the legs to be grounded downward in energy, you might think of the belly button, and from there, an extension down through the tailbone like a taproot of a tree. And then the spine from that can reach upwards, and the crown of the head opens to the sky. So it's almost as if, they call it a lotus thread, they describe it that way, but a thread that runs through, or a stalk of a plant, and the crown of the head reaches for the sun, just like the leaves of the trees are reaching up for the sunlight. We want that same kind of extension through our body, and yet the hips and the legs are grounded and rooted. So from that expanded feeling in the body, start to breathe. So from the belly, let the belly rise, the breath rise up to the top of the shoulders. And as you exhale, pour it out long. So we're breathing in and out through the nose. Of course, Ujjayi, that slightly audible breath. The exhale, think of the hips growing heavier through the legs onto the earth, grounding you in this moment. The inhale, the stalk of that sprout rising upwards towards the sun. Mind quieting already. And then with the hands at the heart center, taking the first Om here, taking a deep breath in. Om. And then floating the fingertips to the earth. So we're going to get a little side stretch. So we'll use an analogy of trees today a bit. So as you inhale the left arm up, imagine that being a branch of the tree rising up, but not so much that the shoulder blades are extended away up. Keep the arm into the armpit so the shoulder blades are down, and then keep that left buttocks cheek rooting as you stretch over to the right. So both buttocks cheeks are rooting onto whatever support you're sitting on. And the exhale then melts and releases. So each inhale, breathing full waves. Feeling that side of the body, but keeping the grounding of the pelvis and the legs. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, float that hand down. Inhale, taking the right arm up. Keep that shoulder blade down, and exhale, stretch over to the left. So right buttocks cheek, keep pressing it on the earth, keeping both sitting bones down. Inhale, full waves of breath here. Deep in, out long. So it's like the tree bending in the wind so it doesn't break. Nice solid foundation. We need that deep roots for the body so it feels safe. And then inhale all the way back up to center and float the hands down. We're shift and rock forward to all fours, hands and knees. And let the fingers spread wide evenly, not so that they're tense, but wide so you have a nice foundation. Even tuck the toes under so you can feel the toes and the fingers on the earth. So you have nice solid feeling. Arms are straight without locking the elbows. And here we're going to do a few cow pose. So sitting bones, tailbones move up, belly down, chest forward, look forward. And as you exhale, scoop the tailbone, rooting it down into the earth and allowing the rest of the spine, head last to move. And just a few more waves. Inhale, waking up the whole spine here, all the muscles along the spine. At the same time, feeling grounded through the legs, through the arms, and just the torso here is moving. Feel the stability through the arms and legs, even as the rest is moving in a wave. And this is what we want. We want a stable, our awareness is stable. And it's just coming into the moment where we have that connection to stability. So come back to neutral. Take the knees a little wider, big toes touch. So here's that nice, stable, grounded child's pose here with the arms out in front. So we have a little opening in the shoulders, allowing the knees wide enough for the belly to relax down, the heart down, forehead resting on the earth. And just take waves of breath into your back body here, from the lower back all the way up to the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, pour out long. And then slowly come back to all fours, hands and knees. And here with the heart melted, that means shoulder blades are coming on and down the back. Take our first down dog. So now with a little weight bearing in the arms, and walk out the dog. One leg straight, then the other. And then inhale, swing the left foot forward. Now with the left foot forward, let's bring the back knee onto the ground. We're going to do a little more connection to the earth today to kind of get that more of that grounding. And so here we are going to pulse with the breath. So we are going to have movement. If you have a couple blocks and tighter in hamstrings, you might have your hands flat on a block here today if you have two of them. So as you inhale, straighten the front leg, keep that left foot flex, excuse me. And then as you exhale, melt back into your lunge, letting the hips come forward. And when they are in that, make sure knee and ankle line right up with each other. If the knee is forward, take that front or back foot farther back. So straightening the leg with it flexed as much as possible. And then exhale, melting in the lunge. Just going at your own breath rate. So the earth element governs the legs, right? It's the strength of the legs and the feet that help us with our balance. Gives us, when we have stronger muscles in the legs, it helps us with our balance. Very important. And then come and hold that lunge. And here, place the right hand on the ground, fingers pointing away from that foot, and twist as you exhale to the left arm up towards the sky if you can, head back, shoulder blades on the back. Nice deep long breaths. So you still have that left foot grounded on the earth. And then exhale, bring that hand down, use blocks if you need, lift the back knee off the ground and rock forward, forward fold. So here, feet are parallel. See if the toes are clenching, try to hold on and don't let them expand, giving a wider foundation. And as you root the hips down through the legs, inhale, rise up, reaching up for the sky. And exhale, bringing the heart, hands back to the heart center. Nice. All right, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, left foot back. And now we're on the other side, placing the back knee on the ground. Use blocks as you need to so that your hands can be a little flatter on the earth. Straightening the front leg, keeping that foot flexed, and then as you exhale, melt back into the lunge. So with the hamstring, the back of the front leg as you feel that, and the calf, and then the hip flexor. Those are the main muscles that allow us to move forward and stand in just being. So as you hold your lunge, left fingertips pointing away from that foot, shoulder blades together on the back as you twist to the right. Deep in, long out. And exhale, top hand down. Lift the back knee off the ground, rock forward and forward fold. And as you root down through the legs, inhale, rise up, reaching up for the sky. And as you exhale, floating the hands back to the heart center. So some of the important part with the feet is how much the feet add to our stability, or the strength of the muscles that support the moving of the toes is huge. So we're going to have a little couple exercises today to help us get a little more grounding. And I want to have it give you that experience of feeling how much more flexible we are when we actually have some flexibility in our feet. So we're going to first with our arms to the side. So mountain pose, one of the more stable of the standing poses. Keep the hips rooting down, belly button is in, tailbone rooting like that tap root of the tree. Taking a full deep breath in, and then as you exhale, a little upper back bend, looking back, see how far you can go back. And then inhale back up to neutral. It's like a little waterfall, just kind of gives you an idea. Now we're gonna do some work with our feet. So take, so your left foot out, that's left, yes, it's your left. And flex that foot. So I'm going to do my hands too so you can see, but squeeze the toes and the fingers into fists, and then spread the fingers, spread the toes, and then you can actually press the balls of the feet down like you're pushing on the gas pedal, but lift the heel, but keep the toes expanded like my fingers are. Flex again, squeeze, balls and fists, toes expand, keep them expanding, and press the balls of the feet down, and you can do the palms too. Okay, flex, squeeze, spread, press down, lift the heel. Good, now balance on the right foot, shake it out. You can shake the hands too. Do the hokey pokey, no, I'm just kidding. And bring that foot back to the earth. Shift over to the left, take the right foot out, and same here, squeeze the toes, fists, spread the toes, hands, press the balls and the heels down, and then flex, other side, squeeze, spread, and balls down. One more time, flex, squeeze the toes, spread the fingers, and Simba's playing with her toes. So it's just like, and flex. Okay, so shift your weight over and shake out the foot, shake out the hands, releasing, and come back to standing. Now we're back into Dasana. So belly button in, tailbone rooting, and inhale, deep long inhale. Exhale, look back. Notice how much farther you go. And inhale back up. So just by working with periphery, we work actually the whole body, bringing it a little more flexible. Okay, let's go into a wide stance. Use some of that flexibility now to do some yoga, or actually stability and flexibility, right? So take the legs wide, rotate the left foot to the left, okay, and bend that left knee. So first of all, let's go into Parsvakonasana. So here we have a right arm alongside the head, left forearm on the thigh, a little hello in that left inner thigh here as you breathe. Deep, long breath. Simba is really entertaining today. He's doing yoga too. I think he wants treats. All right, inhale, come all the way back up. Hands to the hips, rotate left foot, and then right foot, bend that right knee, right forearm on the thigh, and left arm alongside the head. Nice long deep breaths here. And as much as possible, as you root the hips down, now remember that belly button in, tailbone extends through that straight leg. See if you can twist the chest a little more up towards the sky, opening it up just a little more. Important to keep that belly button in, tailbone rooting though. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Rotate the foot, going the opposite direction. So now we're going to go into triangle. So inhale the arms up, bend at the left hip crease, reach to the left, and then pinwheel the arms using blocks if you need, so that you feel stable. So hips are rooting down through the right leg, spine is nice and long, taking deep, long breaths. So if you want more stability, you might actually gaze down, since that's the focus today. Why don't we gaze down to the left foot? And that also, as you see gazing down your left shoulder, invite it to externally rotate a little more, bringing that shoulder blade a little more onto the back. Rooting down a little stronger. Inhale, rise up. Hands to the hips and pivot left, then right. Inhale the arms out to the side. Bend at the right hip crease and pinwheel the arms here. And again, let's gaze down today. Check out the foot. Make sure those toes are expanding wide, not scrunching. And breathe. Feel the feet on the earth and from the tailbone extending down through the legs without locking the knee. When we lock the knee, we lose some of our stability because we're hanging on the joint. We're not using the muscles then. And Marion, try to keep your head back a little more, even though you're looking at Simba. I know, I can see. Rooting down stronger. Inhale, rise up. And both feet parallel. We're going to bend forward, Prasarita Padottanasana. Bend at the hip creases and forward fold. So come like halfway down if you can, and use hands flat on the ground. Spread the toes and even hug the legs in towards each other as if you're trying to slide your feet on ice, right? They come together, but you have sticky mat. So you're going to feel your inner thighs engaging. Now, as the tailbone roots down through the legs, allow the expansion, like you're extending the feet wide as you keep the inner thighs engaged, and then pour out and go a little deeper. Keep that nice long Ujjayi breath so the muscles of the legs are working here. And then straighten the arms and bend the knees, heel toe, the feet in until they're sitting bone to hip width apart. Feet parallel, toes extended, bend the knees. Utkatasana. So here you could have the hands at the heart as you lift the chest looking forward. Just make sure knees and ankles are about the same distance apart from each other. If you want a little more shoulder stretch, inhale the arms up. That's your choice. And here you'll start to feel the quads start to work. So here again, strengthening the muscles. Breathing, letting the head and neck move back as much as you can so that you're looking as much forward as available. Shaking of the legs is extra credit. It means you're working. Rooting down stronger. Inhale, rise up, reaching up for the sky. And exhale, floating the hands back to the heart center. Well done. So we're going to go into tree. So we're going to do some one leg balance. So if you'd like to be near a wall, or even off of your mat so you're a little more stable, that's a good place to be. So we're going to start balancing on the right leg. So shift the weight to the right and bend your left knee out to the side. And here you can either place that on your calf or take the ankle and place it higher up on the thigh. Just don't press into your knee. Hands to the heart. So from here, root the tailbone down through that standing leg and inhale the arms up into your version of tree. Shoulder blades stay relaxed down the back so there's no excess tension in the neck. The arms are that branches reaching, expanding at the same time as we're grounding this body into the present moment. Solid, with a quiet mind, gazing one-pointedly, our awareness fully in the moment, outside of random thought of the ego mind. And then exhale, floating the hands back to the heart center. Turn that foot to the earth. And now balancing on the left leg. Right knee goes out to the side and either placing it on a calf or whatever you did. So balance whatever you did on the other side, and then hands to the heart. So the whole pelvic loop, belly button in, tailbone roots. And you should feel a certain lift at the perineum, but it comes from the grounding. And then inhale your arms up into the same beautiful tree that you did on the other side. So imagine your favorite tree in blossom, or maybe now the fall colors. Colleen sent a beautiful picture of the fall colors there in Portland. It was beautiful. So maybe it's the fall beauty of the fall. And exhale, floating the hand, foot down, back into Tadasana, mountain pose. So solid now with both feet after having that balance of the one. So this time we're going to get a little more creative. And here's the practice of really going inward to find the inner balance, even as things are crazy on the outside. So we're going to do tree again. This time we're going to keep either with the right leg balancing, the left knee bent to the side, either toes on the ground or on the calf. So we're going to make this easier. So, and then hands to the heart. So we're going to close our eyes. That's the only difference. So pressing the foot into the calf, hands stay pressing together in the center. So we want to find this center, and the tailbone roots deep. Imagine your root growing deep. One pointed focus with your gaze. And then as you feel yourself balancing, play with closing your eyes. If you lose balance, open them, find your balance once again, and then play with tuning back inward. Feel the body working. And then opening the eyes, releasing the foot, and it may feel quite a bit different. The body really has to work to find that balance, even as we don't look around us for our feedback of what's stable. So back on the left side, right knees out, toes on the ground or foot on the calf, hands to the heart, rooting the tailbone down, spine long, finding your balance, and when you're ready, play with closing the eyes. Keep breathing. And then open the eyes and return to Tadasana. And just close the eyes now with both feet on the ground. Feel the stability of having 2 feet, and also a certain grounding that comes from the attempt at balancing. So we're going to add one more. We'll do a little play, a transition play. So if balancing is a challenge, you can have your hand on something. If you can have that on the right side for this first, you're going to shift the weight over to the right, bend the left knee, and here hold that thigh, and then slowly straighten the leg. Both legs are straight, spine is nice and long. Now bend the knee. Here's where it gets fun. Take the ankle and extend, keeping the heel to the buttocks. Thighs are parallel, and if you're not holding on to something, play with extending the right arm up. Exhale, return. And here, if you want to turn to have some support on the left side, we're going to stand on the left. Inhale, right knee up. holding that thigh. Exhale, straighten the leg. Bend that knee, holding on to the ankle, keeping it towards the buttocks as your belly button's in, tailbone rooting towards that standing leg or that knee, keeping the thighs parallel, breathing. And if you'd like to take the other arm up, feel free. And exhale, release both hands to the earth. All right, we're going to take this a little more now into, so take the legs wide on your mat. We're going to take it into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So with the legs wide, rotate the left foot. Here you might want to use a block if you're a little tighter in the hamstrings. We're going to start with the left knee bent, left forearm on the thigh. If you're using a block for more ease, you can hold that block in your left hand. That's an easier way to transition. And then as you look down, you're going to place the block or your hand diagonally to the left of your little toe, kind of the corner of your mat, and then lift that leg up. So it's kind of like triangle. As you gaze down, it's a little more stable, but open up the body like you would in the triangle. Nice long deep breaths. Feeling stability in that standing leg, and even put more weight on the standing leg, less on the hand as you fly your moon here, half moon pose. So even the fingertips could come off the block for more fun. Then to transition, top hand to the hip, bend that standing leg, step back. You can take your block with you, and then rotate left foot, right foot, bend the right knee. If you don't need the block, you don't have to. All right. And so here we're going to be placing the right hand diagonally to the right, to the back corner of your mat. As you inhale, shift the weight forward, lift that back leg up, and then top arm can reach to the sky. Once you're ready, gazing down will give you a little more stability. Keep the breath going, deep in, long out. And then with that gazing down, see if you can put more weight on the leg and less on the fingertips. And then to come down, top hand to the hip, bend that standing leg, step back to where you came from, and straighten the leg. Both feet parallel. And we're going to fold at the hip creases, pouring out. One more time. Hands flat on the ground today to really feel the earthiness of the feet, and then pouring out. The spine nice and long. So now heel toe, as you straighten the arms halfway, come about halfway in, and but keep your feet wide. We're going to do a wide squat. So feet are diagonal and knees are pointing the same direction as the toes, hands to the heart. So it's a high squat. Spine is extending out of the pelvis. Torso's more forward. Marion, try to stick your butt back more and head down more. Yeah, there you go. Or I should say heart down more. There you go. Good. You can use your hands on the thighs, totally fine. And then bring the fingertips to the ground, straighten the legs for a moment, give yourself a little pause, a little break. And either do that again, bend the knees, and either go into what I like to call a flying frog, playing at an easier level than Bakasana, or stay where you are. So that is balancing on the hands, the forearms, and the feet lift. And then when you're ready, come all the way, making your way back to the buttocks. Nicely done, Wendy. So bring the soles of your feet together and invite. So if you're a little tighter, you can sit on the block. Sit on the block this way or a pillow. That will help support your sitting bones. Otherwise, take the hands behind for a moment and lengthen the spine upright. So here we're inviting now the stretch in the inner thigh, but the feet are still pressing into the center, heels pressing. That engages those muscles that we're stretching. When we engage them, they're strengthening as they're stretching, and they feel safer. Now, if you'd like more stretch in the inner thigh, you can place a block. If your knees were down, place the block between, and now you're pressing in to the block as you extend the knees out and down. Keep breathing. And then inhale, bring the knees back up, straighten the legs, and just rock out the legs for a moment, releasing any tension. And we're going to take a baby cradle. So starting with the left foot, little engagement there, keep those toes spreading, and then bring that shin across, either hold it from underneath with that foot engaged, or keeping it into your baby cradle. So now both sit bones, you want the sit bones rooting down into the earth as the spine rises long. And it's harder when we're doing this than when we're just sitting normally or standing especially. But same thing, nice full waves of breath, deep in, long out. Now keep the spine nice and long. Start to lean back, not round back, lean back until the straight leg lifts. And then take that foot in a circle. Keep the leg steady. Take the foot in a circle. Switch directions. And bring that heel back. Other leg, and just invite that buttocks flesh out as you take the inner thigh under. Go the other side. Take the right foot, full engagement of that foot, and invite it across, holding underneath for tighter hips, in baby cradle for more open hips. And sit bones root as the spine rises. Nice full breath. Deep in, long out. And then begin to lean back until you hover the left leg now. Taking that foot in a circle. And other direction. And then coming back. So that was really baby cradle in half boat. Now we're going to go into the boat. So I'm just going to be sideways so you can see better. But let's begin with the knees bent, balancing on the buttocks. Hands can hold the thighs to begin with. Spine is nice and long. Once you have balance, try to release the hands. If you need to come back to holding at any point, feel free. And just stay with the knees bent here. That keeps Keeps the back safe, and yet you're still working at strong abdominals. Now from here, if you'd like a little more, we're going to bicycle the legs a little bit slowly. So as you straighten one leg, keep the other bent, go down a little with the spine, inhale back up, it just counterbalances. Exhale, come down a little the other leg, and bend as you inhale, come up. So this is about 3 to 5 times on each side, or stay holding in the more stable position. So we're learning balance here. At the same time, we're strengthening our core, strengthening the hip flexors. One last time. If you need to pause and jump back in, feel free. And then toes on the ground, lengthen the spine, nice extension of those strengthened muscles. Good. And then roll all the way onto your left. So left side with the knees bent and the hips bent. And here, elbow is under the top of the shoulder. Now, as you place the other hand on your waist, and as you push down into the left forearm, feel the waistline come up. So you want to keep that waistline lifted. Take the top ankle, and here, belly button stays in as the tailbone extends through that stretching leg, top one there. Keep rooting through the forearms so the waistline stays up. So we have some strengthening in the core here as we're stretching the hip flexor and quad, all the quads. Nice full waves of breath, deep in, long out. Bring that knee back and come on up. Roll over onto the right side. Again, hips are bent, knees are bent, feet are engaged. Take your top hand on the waist. So as you press down into the forearm, you can feel that waistline expand. So that keeps the spine straight. Now take the top ankle, and with the waistline back, extend the tailbone through that left leg, that top one. Also, my foot's not hanging back there. I have it engaged, so it's not floppy. You rarely hear yoga teachers say floppy. Do floppy. No, hardly. Belly button in, tailbone towards the knees. So we're engaging and then learning what to release and relax, right? Good. And bring that knee back. Here, come all the way onto the belly now. So on the belly, invite the thighs to inner rotate and then extend. So belly button's up into the spine, tailbone extends through the legs, big toes are reaching for the back of the room, and the other ones are expanding. So the legs are engaged. And so here, either come into a cobra or come up into Sphinx pose. So here's the Sphinx pose. You can stay there with the heart opening, or hands if you want to go deeper. So choose which one's right and stay with nice long breaths. Deep in, long out. Here we're stretching all those abdominal muscles we just did. And then slowly come down. You can turn the head to one side or rest your forehead on your hands and breathe. And if you feel any tightness in your back somewhere, just breathe into that. Let the breath expand into your back body. Whatever feels tight, let it go there. And just allow the body to release into the earth for a moment. Let it feel the stability of lying on the earth in safety. Bringing the hands next to the chest, inner rotate the thighs, inner thighs towards each other and up towards the sky. Belly button up, tailbone extend. Now Shalabhasana. So now we're going to work our back more. So lift the legs. Also works the buttocks and the back of the legs as you lift. And then you can take the arms out to the side. Nice deep long breaths, working the whole back of the body, buttocks, hamstrings, breathing. And then exhale, come all the way down, resting the forehead or turning the head, whatever you did. If you had your head turned, turn the other direction. And breathe. Take the hands next to the chest and come up to all fours, hands and knees. And then from here, just take your waistline up towards the sky and just go into any place that feels good. So it might feel better to the lower waist, go back. Maybe it's the shoulders, wherever it is, expand, allowing the head to relax. Couple breaths, and then take the knees wide and come into an extended child's pose again. So arms overhead, forehead towards the earth, very grounding, but also releasing any tension out of the back here with full waves of breath. So start your breath from the lower back, mid back, up to the shoulders, and pour it out. And then start to walk your hands over to the right. So we're going to get a stretch in the left side of the body. So the chest comes over the right knee. Keep that left hip rooted back towards the heel, even though the left arm reaches across. Take some nice full waves of breath here. So still in that nice earthy position. And now opening up that whole left side. So we're learning to bend here like the trees bend, not break in the whirlwinds of life. Going with the flow, taking the hands all the way across now over to the left, chest over that left knee, right arm reaches way over, right buttock stays grounded. Deep breath in, long exhale out. And then walk the hands back through the center and inhale yourself back up. Take your legs out in front here. You might want to strap if you're a little tighter in the hamstrings. And just invite a neutral rotation. So inner thigh under as you unstick your buttocks and take the fingertips behind. So first we're going to do Dandasana or staff pose. So heels root, thighs root, sitting bones root, spine lengthens. So we're inviting head back, spine long. So all of our sitting poses here are going to be based here. We're going to do a few. So keep that left leg straight, bend the right knee out to the side. Come back to the hands behind, lengthening the spine. Feel that extension. We want to keep that, and then take the hands to either ankles, strap to the foot, hand to the foot, but lengthen the spine. Thighs and heels stay grounded as you pour out and over. Stretching out all the strengthening we did in our legs today so that we can have strength and flexibility. Being and then moving from beingness. That's first chakra, the right to be. And then to be grounded, to be present as things flow and change. And then on an inhale, slowly help yourself back to neutral. Straighten out the right leg, bend the left knee, and fingertips behind to get that nice lengthening. Keep the sit bones, thigh and heel rooted, and then coming forward, going into your pose. So each inhale, keep the wave of breath going. Keep the awareness on the sensation of an easeful stretch, of an even breath, of a grounding body, and a quiet mind. And here really that quiet mind is a peaceful presence. And as you inhale, slowly help yourself back up. Bring that knee back to the center, straighten the leg. And here we're going to finish with a wide angle. So take the legs wide. Start with the hands behind. Once again, lengthening the spine, heels root, thighs root, just as we had before. This time, then extend forward to your ability. So keep the hands grounded and allow the arms to help support the descent as your body opens up. But keep the thighs engaged. So my thighs are fully engaged, my feet are engaged, the heels are rooting, thighs are rooting, so that in that safety, the body can start to relax. Each inhale lengthens the spine, keeping the legs engaged the whole time. Exhale, melting. And then on an inhale, start to help the hands, help yourself back up. Take the knees with your hands and help them to bend, and slowly make your way onto the earth. We're going to do a little finishing twist here. So take the left knee over the right, and then lift your hips and shift them over to the left. And then arms can be at a T. Exhale the knees down to the right, keeping the back and the arms on the earth. So there's a grounding here in the upper body as the spine spirals around. Full waves of breath, still Ujjayi breathing. And then inhale, bring the knees back up to center, uncross,
Shift the hips back to neutral, and then take right knee over left and lift the hips, shift them to the right, and exhale the knees down. Nice deep breaths, deep in, long out. And then inhale, bring the knees back up to the center. Straighten out the spine by lifting the hips, and then hug the knees in towards the chest. So give your body a big hug, appreciation for all of its work, its ability to feel stable and secure, to help the mind calm. And then as you're ready, coming into Shavasana. So here, take the heels as wide as your mat, arms out to the side, palms up. And just pour out the breath, letting all of the body relax. As the body relaxes, the mind can quiet. And first start with your awareness at your feet. And notice where the heels rest on the earth. Feel that and allow the weight of your each foot to rest heavy on the earth. Notice both legs and where they touch the earth. And just allow all the muscles of the legs to relax and melt down to the feet and to the earth. Bring your awareness to the belly and notice if you're holding any tension there. And just let it release, allowing the hips to grow a little heavier. Then maybe gently shake the head from side to side and notice if you're holding any tension in the neck and the shoulders, and just let it release and melt down the arms and out the fingertips. Noticing where the arms rest on the earth and letting them grow heavier as the arms relax. Make sure the jaw is slightly open, the tongue is relaxed, the eyes relax, and the eyelids heavy in its deep relaxed state. Allow the forehead also to relax, melting away any residual tension from old thoughts, old beliefs that no longer serve you. Just letting it release back to the earth from where it came. The body now taking in with your awareness its heaviness from head to toe. Relax and melted. Easeful breath. Now, if slowly bring your awareness to the heart center, the abode of spirit. Then you might even add the mantra, I am spirit, or I am peace, or I am love, whatever feels right for you. I am safe. I am present. And if any thoughts other than that pop into the mind, you might also add, that is not me. Let it go with an exhale and drop your awareness back into the heart using the mantra that's right for you today. And allow that to be the practice in Shavasana, letting go of the body and its thoughts and coming back to the heart, to spirit. Begin to notice the heaviness of your body. You want to maintain that heavy grounding stability. So just deepen your breath from the pelvic floor all the way up to the top of the chest in a wave of breath in and a long exhale out. Add little movements as you continue your deep breathing. And just bend a knee and to a roll to your right, take a breath. So we're going to stay kind of grounded here as we slowly on an inhale come up. Come to a seated position that's supported with the pelvic blocks, so that we're going to be meditating for about 5 minutes here. So make sure that you are supported so you don't have to effort to stay upright in an upright position. So here, feeling the heaviness still in hips and legs, allowing the spine an easeful lengthening, and you might rock from the pelvis a little front and back, just to the point where you're aware that you're not having to effort to stay upright with the torso. Now we're going to do about 3 waves of breath here. And here we're going to emphasize the exhale. So take a shorter but full inhale. And then a long, slow exhale. So letting the exhale be longer than normal. And when all the breath is out, use your belly to push out more. And then inhale, faster inhale, but full inhale. And slow, slow exhale. All the way out, using your belly to push out any extra. And then another full inhale. Faster, and then exhale, slow, long exhale out, squeezing out the rest at the very end with the belly, and then relax the belly. And now just breathing naturally. Bringing your focus to the heart center. Imagining there being a grounding with the hips and the legs, like the roots of a tree. The heart being the center of the tree. And the crown of the head, a flower at the top, 1,000-petal lotus they call it. So with the mind or the awareness focused at the heart, if any random thoughts pop up, exhale, release, and drop back into the heart. Imagine that pebble dropping into heart. You might use that same mantra as you had before. I am peace, I am spirit, I am love. Whatever's appropriate, I am safe, I am grounded, I am supported. All of those qualities are that of heart, of spirit. Just bringing your awareness to the whole body and just noticing maybe it's more earthy grounding, maybe a little quieter mind, a little more peace in this moment. As you finish placing the hands at the heart center, just honoring this moment, the peace that lies within. Namaste. Thank
Thank you, guys.